everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alyssa, and if you are new here, make sure you hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, and welcome to Apex with Alyssa. I'm Alyssa, and I'm going to be breaking down everything Formula One, the strategy, the drivers, and the races, and what really happens behind the scenes. Welcome back. Let's get into it. In the last video, I kind of talked about Formula One as a whole. What is it, where it comes from, the teams, the drivers, how many drivers there are, what the race weekend looks like. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Formula One strategy. I'll be breaking down what is a Formula One strategy, strategies there are, and types of ways that strategies come in. In F1, strategy is timing your pit stops, tire compounds, reacting to changing conditions, all to maximize track position and minimize time lost. That is one of the biggest things in Formula One, is where you are on the grid, but also where you are when it comes to the timing of pit stops and tire changes and anything that's broken, such as wings. These things all matter when it comes to the strategy of being in Formula One. Let's talk about tires. Let's break down tires really quick. Tires, undercuts, and overcuts. There are three main dry tires: soft, medium, and hard. Soft tires give you the best grip but wear out faster. Medium tires balance grip and durability. Hard tires last longer but they're slower. Before going out, or pit stops too, teams have to decide what tire they're going to start on to what tire they can end on. A huge term that you will hear in Formula One when it comes to pit stop maneuvers or pit stop strategies is going to be called the undercut. The undercut is a very popular strategic move. You pit early, gain fresh tires, set faster laps. So when you're going around and they're starting to come out, you're able to actually pass them. Overcut is another term you'll hear a lot. Overcut is a term you'll hear a lot as well in Formula One, and it's staying out longer. Overcut is opposite of undercut. So overcut, you stay out longer on the track and hope your lap time stays competitive while the rival is in the pit. A really good example of an undercut strategy is the Hungarian GP Grand Prix in 2019, where Lewis Hamilton was behind Max Verstappen. Mercedes gambled, but Mercedes threw out a second pit and did an aggressive undercut strategy. It paid off because Lewis ended up passing Max Verstappen, and with just a few laps to go. Box is a term you'll hear, is another term you'll hear in Formula One. Once again, there's a lot of terms used in Formula One, but box is what you'll hear during the race when the team wants the driver to pit. Every single team has monitors of data when it comes to their drivers. Now, mind you, again, they have 2 drivers per team, and these teams have data for each driver, and they can see, when the car is hot, or when the tires are, wearing out, or, if they're out on slicks, if they need to come in and they need to box, anything like that, or if they hit something or hit someone else and their wing snaps, they'll say box, and then you come in, you get a new wing, and then you go on. A lot of teams nowadays are using AI simulations to predict when to pit and how the competitors will react to that, so they know when to go out again, how long this pit needs to happen, or if they need to pit at all. Because some teams, you'll see, especially this season, the 2025 season, a big team that has excelled at not pitting the entire race has been McLaren. Their car has been unbelievable. They're saying, it's made for combat, and it is. Strategy in Formula One is almost like playing chess. It's not just, cars are going faster. When I talk to my friends about Formula One, they're always like, well, it's just cars racing. It's just, it's just racing cars, right? But it's more than that. About being smart within the decisions that you make, not just in the car, but outside of it. These teams have strategies like no other. These teams have different strategies for, themselves, due to the fact that their cars are all different. And it's all gonna come down to the driver listening and how the driver performs under those strategies. Your teams will analyze its track temperature, weather forecast to make sure that they're on the right tire, computer tactics and driver tendencies, and making sure that your tires are not wearing as fast, and if they are, if you have to pit. And with that too, with your team knowing all of these things, your tires, the weather, the driver themselves on how they drive on these tires, right? Those things all come down to what tire to start on, when to schedule pit stops, especially if it's raining. We saw it in Silverstone 3 weeks ago at this point or 3 or 4 weeks ago at this point, where it was raining during the race and some pitted and went in and got new tires and then came out. So they switched tires, and then the track was still really slick. So, then it was like, oh, do we regret doing that? Do they come back in? Do we switch tires again? So it's all about strategy. Sometimes, though, you get thrown to the wolves where your team is like, no, you'll be fine. And then they quickly realize that you're not fine on those tires, and those tires specifically. Formula One is known for the very fast and quick pit stops. Your strategy on your pit stops. The fastest pit stop in Formula One history is actually Lando Norris's pit stop, the 2023 Qatar Grand Prix. They actually beat out Red Bull. Lando Norris's 2023 Qatar Grand Prix pit stop was the fastest pit stop in Formula One history, with 1.80 seconds, beating out Red Bull by, I think it was like, theirs was 1.82 milliseconds. Lando beat them out with McLaren's pit stop, which was really, really cool. Now that's the fastest pit stop in Formula One history. Formula One is known for their very fast pit stops. That's kind of the point, because that's also part of the strategy, which is why, unlike, NASCAR, where they have like 5 bolts holding the tire in, an average Formula One pit stop should last around 2 to 3 seconds. But the timing is so critical, and that's a part of the strategy itself. Teams normally will use live tracking and timing to track in time how long that pit stop lasted, what they need to do better, and what they're going to do to make it easier for the engineers to make that pit stop productive for the driver and the team. A lot of these drivers, or every single one of these drivers, are going 200 plus kilometers per hour. When you pit, you lose your position. So that's why these pit stops need to be quick. Because if you lose your position on track, then you have to make that up. Pit stops go, as well as when these pit stops happen. Another strategy to Formula One is going to be the safety cars. The safety cars can cause either chaos, irritation, or momentum for different teams. Safety cars introduce unpredictability when they're deployed. The safety car is exactly what it is. It's a safety car. They come out if there's a crash, or someone locks up and their car doesn't work anymore, and they have to get that driver and the car off the track immediately. So the safety car gets deployed. Now, when you're behind the safety car, you're not allowed to pass each other, but this is a time where the strategy comes in for each team. Now, it's going to be either you're going to pit or you're going to stay out. And if you pit, you gain fresh tires, but losing track position, or staying out to keep places but risk being overtaken later. So once that, whoever's in the front behind the safety car, so whoever is technically in first, if they are in first, they cannot be overtaken. And they're the race leader, which means that when the safety car leaves the track, they are the ones who determine when the race technically starts back up. And you're not allowed to pass them until they go to a certain speed. Then you're allowed to pass them. But they have to go first, and they have to catch up to themselves, basically. The other thing about a safety car is the safety car can do as many laps as it needs to. Every single team has a race strategist. This race strategist doesn't just call for pit stops. They also watch the weather. They're in contact with the meteorologist. They are in contact with engineers, and they are in contact with the driver themselves. They make sure that not only is the driver okay and safe, but they also are making sure that the driver knows the strategies So when to pit, if they need new tires, rain, so let's switch tires, or stay out as long as you can on those tires. It depends on what team and who the race strategist is. I would say one of the more dominant teams, obviously we've seen this year, the race strategist with McLaren, or whether it's rainy or whether it's sunny, strategist is a lot different than Williams or Red Bull or Mercedes even. The race strategists are also the ones make up all the what ifs. What if it rains? What if it storms or dirty air? They're the ones who create the what ifs. And I don't think I could personally do that job, because that's a lot of overthinking. Actually, I could do that job. Many teams though nowadays with new technology will create certain simulations to see how the car and the driver would react to that situation, who basically are the overthinkers for the team. Do drivers have say when it comes to their strategies? Some drivers, especially veteran drivers like Fernando Alonso or Lewis Hamilton, is going to be like their team, their pit strategist, and the things that they have put in place. Especially for the newer drivers like rookies, obviously they're going to 100% listen to what their strategists have to say. And when it comes to the radio, obviously we've seen a lot of dramatic moments when it comes to the radio, and when it comes to the team going back and forth on whether to pit somebody or keep them out. You're stay out, or you're here box, or you're here stay out, or you're here box now. There's a lot of funny clips on TikTok and on YouTube that you guys can find when it comes to drivers yelling at their strategists, box, why, or stay out, and then it's too late because they already drove in to the pit lane. So it's all funny. It happens in the moment, and it's very dramatic per usual. So every track has different strategies to it. You'll see different strategies in Monaco. Monaco track position is going to be tire wear. So the wear on the tires is going to kind of predict where you're going to be in pole position. Silverstone, high degradation on tires mean management is key. So making sure that you're tracking the wear on the tires, but not only what tires you're on. Due to the fact that Silverstone being in England, unpredictable rain is a consistent fear, right? Spa, weather changes strategy almost every year. With Spa, now I'm kind of new to Formula One still, so I'm learning as I go, but I haven't watched Spa at all, like a race there yet, so weather changes strategy almost every year, so I'm expecting a little drama, and I think everybody should, with every race in general. But strategists will also do something with risk management. So you'll see a lot of the championship contenders, so the top, drivers, they will drive a little more conservatively. They will also not pit as often due to the fact that their cars are made a lot differently. They're made for the purpose to stay out longer. Unlike midfield teams, they take more risks, so they're going to do late pit stops. They're going to do bold tire choices. Mercedes is kind of in that field right now. Every team is going to be different when it comes to that. It's a matter of how you react to it as a team and as a driver that matters the most. Now, that is kind of an overview of strategy, right? I'm pretty sure it's pretty self-explanatory. You have a team that sits down and thinks to themselves, what can make us better? What can we do better as a team? What can we do to be the most successful and intimidating team on the track? And I feel as though a lot of teams have done that successfully, and I feel as though a lot of teams can always do better. But who are we to say, because I am not a strategist in Formula One, I'm just a commentator. Wraps up today's episode of Apex with Alyssa. If you enjoy my commentary, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Down below, any video ideas that you guys want to see. All my social medias will be linked down below. Thank you guys for tuning in as always, and I will see you guys in the next video.